Let's start with number 1. First thing you want to do in the distance formula is you write d equals, and then a big square root. Then you're going to do x2 minus x1. So that's 4 minus negative 2 squared. Now when we minus the negative 2, I'm actually going to erase that and write plus, because subtracting a negative makes a positive. Then we're going to subtract the y's, 0 minus 7, and square it. That's the distance formula. That's this. Ooh. Okay, so simplifying, we're going to get 6 squared plus negative 7 squared, 6 to the power 2, that's 6 times 6, that's going to be 36, plus negative 7 squared, that's negative 7 multiplied by negative 7, and so it's going to be positive 49. So D is going to be 49 plus 36, that is root 85. Alright, if you haven't already been using a calculator, this is where you type in the values. Square root of 85, and the answer is 9.2. Okay, we are done. But just to help you understand the concept, another way you could have done this with a graph is plot the points, negative 2, 7, and 4, 0, then connect them with a straight line, and then make a triangle. The bottom side of the triangle is 6. This side of the triangle is 7. And so 6 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared, which is exactly what we had here. So you're going to get the same answer. This is root 85. So you can also solve it that way with the graph. The distance formula is just the Pythagorean theorem. Let's try number 2. Find the distance between the points 3, negative 6 and negative 4, 8. So I'm going to plug these values into the distance formula. You do x2 minus x1 in parentheses, and then you square it, plus, and then you do y2 minus y1 in the parentheses, and then you square it. Okay, I have a double negative. 8 minus 8 subtract negative 6. So I'm going to change that to a plus. Negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7 squared, and 8 plus 6 is 14 squared. You may need to use a calculator to get these values. A negative number squared becomes positive. So this is 49 plus 196. Okay, so our distance D is going to be 49 plus 196. $245. We still have to square root it. That'll give us our answer. Square root of 245. 15.7. We're going to round up. 65 is going to round up to 7. Another way to solve this problem is plot the 2 points on the graph, negative 4, 8, and 3, negative 6. Connect them with a straight line, as straight as you can make it. Use a ruler. And then make a triangle. That's going to be C. The bottom side of the triangle is 7. This side of the triangle is 14. So do you guys see how the distance formula, it's just the Pythagorean theorem, but we're always finding the hypotenuse. Square rooting that will lead us to the same conclusion, 15.7. At this point, class, I encourage you to pause the video and try the next two on your own. Press play when you're ready to see the answers. Remember that in order to learn math, you must do math. Number 3. To get the distance, you subtract the x's, x2 minus x1, negative 8 minus 6, and then you square it, plus subtract the y's, negative 1 minus 7, and then you square that. Negative 8 minus 6 is negative 14 squared, plus negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8 squared. Remember that negative 8 times negative 8 becomes positive 64. When you square a negative, you get a positive value. That's positive 196 plus positive 64. Add them together and then square root it. That's going to be root 260. Use your calculator, round to the nearest tenth. 16.1. So final answer, the distance is 16.1. As always, class, it is really helpful to think about the graph. If we plot the 2 points, connect them with the straight line, and then connect them with a straight diagonal line, that is, and then make a triangle. This side is 8. This side is 14. By the Pythagorean theorem, 14 squared plus 8 squared is equal to c squared. That is exactly what we end up with in the distance formula. The distance formula is just the Pythagorean theorem. Alright guys, last one. Like I said, pause the video, try it out, press play when you're ready. x2 minus x1 squared plus sign. y2 minus y1 squared. Don't forget the square root. When you have the two negatives, it becomes a plus. So this distance is going to be 0 squared plus 9 squared. Now 0 squared is 0 times 0. That's still 0. This is 0 plus 81, or root 81, and root 81 is 9. As always, it's helpful to think about the graph. If you plot those 2 points on the graph and connect them with a straight line, it doesn't form a triangle at all. It's actually just a straight line that you can count. If you have a vertical line, you can count the squares. 9. So you can always solve these on the graph. Alright, thank you everybody. I hope you have a good weekend. You guys can work on the delta math. That is it.